What is happening in the gaming world? The news cycle is absolutely exploding, and you're in the right place to catch every single pulse-pounding update. We've got major legal drama hitting the top of the gaming industry, a beloved franchise getting a massive revival with a fan-favorite mode, a shocking update on a high-profile trial, and a beloved title set to drop some seriously cool free content. Get ready, because this is your essential download of what you need to know, right now. Let's dive in. The headliner. Ubisoft's very own CEO is being called to the stand in a deeply concerning harassment case involving former employees. This is huge, and the implications are massive for the company. We break down exactly what's happening and why it matters. The fan favorite returns. Remember that intense survival mode from the first game in a massive franchise? Well, it's officially making a comeback in the sequel, and we've got the first details on what to expect. Get ready to brave the elements once more. The trial update. The legal proceedings we've been following closely are escalating, with key figures being summoned to appear in court. This is a critical development that could reshape the landscape for major players in the industry. The expansion drops. Get ready for more content. A hugely popular title is set to receive a significant free expansion this fall, adding new missions and gameplay enhancements. You won't want to miss this. Don't miss a single second of this essential gaming news. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and join the Tarnished Tales community now. CEO summoned amid harassment claims. Ubisoft's top executive faces a courtroom appearance in a case stemming from allegations of misconduct by former employees. This development brings significant scrutiny to the gaming giant's leadership and workplace practices. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot has been officially summoned by French courts to testify in connection with a harassment and sexual misconduct case involving several former employees of the company. The individuals facing trial include Serge Hasquet, the former chief creative officer, Tommy Francois, previously the vice president of editorial and creative services, and Guillaume Patrux, a former game designer. All three are subject to numerous allegations of sexual and workplace harassment. As the public face and leader of Ubisoft, Guillemot's required appearance in court underscores the gravity of these proceedings and places the company's highest level of management directly under the judicial spotlight. The summons was reportedly filed by the Solidaires Informatiques Union, along with other parties previously involved in the legal action. This situation has been closely watched since reports emerged in 2023 detailing the initial arrests of Hasquet and Francois, followed by Patrux. The upcoming trial, scheduled for July 2025, will address the extensive allegations that have been leveled. Guillemot's subpoena signifies a new phase in the legal battle, potentially drawing direct testimony from the CEO about the company's internal culture and his knowledge of the alleged misconduct. Ubisoft has issued a statement acknowledging the summons, asserting its intention to cooperate fully with the judicial process. However, the company also maintains a position that the case has been settled and that Ubisoft itself has no case to answer. This stance suggests a potential legal strategy that differentiates the company's liability from that of the individual executives. The coming court dates will be crucial in determining the extent to which the courts agree with Ubisoft's assessment or find grounds for further proceedings against the company or its leadership. The outcome could have far-reaching implications for corporate accountability within the gaming industry, setting precedents for how such serious allegations are handled at the highest levels of management. The gaming community is keenly awaiting further developments, with many hoping for transparency and a thorough examination of the facts presented. The industry is watching closely, with many stakeholders and employees seeking clear accountability and a commitment to a safer work environment. But that's not all the news shaking up the gaming world today. Next up, a franchise favorite is making a massive comeback with a mode fans have been clamoring for. Survival Mode returns to The Division 2. A beloved, challenging game mode from the original title is officially being resurrected for its successor, promising a fresh wave of intense gameplay. Ubisoft has officially announced that The Division 2 will be receiving a much-anticipated survival mode, mirroring the popular iteration from the first game. This revelation came during the Gamescom 2025 exhibition, sending waves of excitement through the player base. Magnus Jansen, the creative director and a veteran of the Division franchise since its inception, is leading the development of this new mode. In a statement that emphasized community involvement, executive producer Julian Garrity shared, "The Division 2, Survivors is as much your baby as it is ours, and we strive for transparency during its development. Clear communication and community involvement are a focus as we build the new experience, and we will be closely involving you as we move forward on the development journey." While Ubisoft has promised more details soon, an exact release date for the survival mode update remains unannounced. However, the studio has provided the first glimpses in the form of concept art and the official logo for Survivors. The original survival mode was a standout feature, thrusting players into harsh, blizzard-ravaged environments where the primary objective was to endure for as long as possible. Survival depended on scavenging for essential resources amidst brutal conditions, making every decision critical for longevity. The announcement suggests a return to this high-stakes gameplay loop, which requires strategic resource management, careful navigation of a hostile world, and constant awareness of environmental threats. Beyond the return of survival, Ubisoft also shared updates on its mobile venture, The Division Resurgence. This free-to-play mobile MMORPG shooter is set a few months after the events of The Division 1 in Manhattan, serving as a narrative bridge to The Division 2. Community engagement is a cornerstone for this mobile project as well, with a closed beta scheduled to commence in September for iOS and Android devices. Players can sign up for access via the official The Division Resurgence website. Furthermore, The Division 2's second season, titled The Pact, is set to launch on September 9. This season will pit the strategic Homeland Division against a formidable alliance of factions, the True Sons, Outcasts, and Hyenas, who have seemingly formed a pact to enact a major plan. The Pact will introduce a new, permanent open-world activity called Retaliation, featuring revamped control point mechanics and new avenues for acquiring exotic gear. Looking ahead, Season 3, Mutiny, is slated for release later this year, promising new mechanics for allies and game modifiers. Ubisoft has committed to sharing more details about these upcoming updates in the coming months, indicating a sustained content strategy for The Division 2. Fans are eagerly anticipating the return of the survival mode, hoping it captures the same challenging spirit as the original, while the ongoing content updates for The Division 2 promise to keep players engaged. This dive into The Division's future is just one part of our massive news roundup. Stay with us as we cover another critical legal development impacting a major gaming publisher. Ubisoft CEO faces court over harassment trial. Following convictions against former executives, the CEO of Ubisoft has been summoned to appear before a French court, with the publisher pledging cooperation. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot has been summoned to appear before a French court, a development that follows a trial in which 3 former senior executives were found guilty of workplace harassment in June. The executives in question, Serge Hasquet, Tommy Francois, and Guillaume Patrux, received fines and suspended prison sentences ranging from 12 months to 3 years. Their convictions stemmed from accusations including sexual misconduct, bullying, and systemic racism, leading to their resignations or dismissals from Ubisoft in 2020 after misconduct reports surfaced. The trade union Solidaires Informatique, along with 4 other individuals involved in the original trial, have issued a subpoena compelling Guillemot to appear before the Brabigny District Court on October 1. This summons is directly related to the aforementioned trial, as reported by French news network BFM TV. In response to the summons, Ubisoft confirmed receipt from the union and associated parties. The company emphasized that these are the same civil parties and that the summons is based on the same facts as those adjudicated in June, following an investigation by the Public Prosecutor's Office. Ubisoft highlighted that, despite the civil parties' requests, the Public Prosecutor's Office had previously determined there were insufficient grounds to initiate criminal proceedings against Ubisoft or its management. a stance reiterated during the closing arguments in June. The publisher stated its commitment to continuing cooperation with the justice system, as it has done over the past 5 years throughout the review of facts pertaining to this case. Previously, in May, reports indicated that Guillemot and Ubisoft's HR director Marie Derain might be summoned to testify in the original trial, a report Ubisoft denied, asserting that neither the company, Guillemot, nor its HR team were parties to the proceedings. Serge Hasquet, formerly Ubisoft's chief creative officer, was sentenced to an 18-month suspended sentence and a €40,000 fine for psychological harassment and complicity in sexual harassment. Court testimony and an internal Ubisoft investigation revealed that employees under his supervision were subjected to racial slurs and Islamophobic pranks. Tommy Francois, who held the position of vice president of editorial and creative services, was convicted of sexual misconduct and attempted sexual assault, including allegations of trying to forcibly kiss an employee at a holiday party. He received a more severe 3-year suspended sentence and a €30,000 fine. Former game director Guillaume Patrux received a 12-month suspended sentence and a €10,000 fine, with his bullying described as smaller scale, but particularly intense. Ubisoft's executive vice president, Cécile Russell, reiterated the company's commitment to employee protection, stating, "Our top priority is to ensure the absolute protection of the physical and moral integrity of its employees, through a policy of prevention and zero tolerance with regard to sexual or moral harassment, sexist behavior, assault, insult, or discrimination of any kind." The summons for the CEO adds a new layer of complexity to the ongoing legal scrutiny, with the company maintaining its position while cooperating with the court. We're not done yet. There's still more crucial news from the world of gaming to unpack. Up next, get ready for some exciting new content dropping for a major franchise this fall. Assassin's Creed Mirage gets free fall DLC. Ubisoft is set to release a significant, free content update for Assassin's Creed Mirage this autumn, adding a new narrative chapter and gameplay enhancements. Ubisoft has announced the upcoming arrival of additional content for Assassin's Creed Mirage, with a free DLC scheduled for release in autumn 2025. This new content will introduce a fresh narrative chapter set in the historic city of Al-Ula, located in Saudi Arabia, offering players an extension to Basim's adventure with new missions. Alongside the new story content, the DLC will also bring a series of gameplay enhancements to the base game, aiming to enrich the overall player experience. This announcement arrives just a few months after the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and despite the strategic focus on that title, Ubisoft is demonstrating continued support for Mirage by providing this new content. While an exact release date has not been communicated, it is anticipated that the DLC will launch around October, potentially coinciding with the game's anniversary. The inclusion of Al-Ula in the Assassin's Creed universe has generated considerable interest, particularly given the confirmed partnership between Ubisoft and Saudi Arabia's public investment fund PIF to finance this DLC. This collaboration has enabled Ubisoft to offer content that is free to players, a notable strategy for content supporting a secondary installment in the franchise. This move appears to be a calculated effort by Ubisoft to extend the lifespan of its title, while simultaneously providing an accessible experience for all owners of the game. The new DLC is primarily targeted at players who have enjoyed the Mirage experience and are keen to follow Basim's journey in a new setting. The additional missions are expected to appeal to those seeking to delve deeper into the narrative and explore an unexplored facet of the hero's life. Furthermore, this free expansion could also attract new players who have recently discovered Assassin's Creed Mirage through platforms like Xbox Game Pass, potentially broadening the audience for the Assassin's Creed franchise. Beyond the narrative elements, the Assassin's Creed Mirage DLC will incorporate several gameplay improvements. These optimizations are designed to benefit both the expansion and the core game, offering an enhanced experience for all players. Ubisoft has indicated its commitment to providing ongoing technical and narrative support, even with the recent launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows and anticipation for future projects like Assassin's Creed Hex. This strategy of extending content lifespan and adapting marketing approaches, particularly through partnerships that enable free DLC, could give Mirage a significant boost nearly 2 years after its initial release. The addition of a new city and gameplay adjustments are key to this revitalization effort. Players are excited about the prospect of new content, especially given its free nature and the unique setting of Alula, further cementing Ubisoft's ongoing support for the title. And that wraps up our deep dive into today's biggest stories. Don't go anywhere, because we've got a lightning round recap and your full call to action coming up next. And that's a wrap on today's essential gaming news. We saw Ubisoft's CEO summoned to court over harassment allegations, the Division 2 getting its beloved survival mode back, a critical update on a major harassment trial, and Assassin's Creed Mirage dropping a free-fall DLC. Don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, drop a comment below with your thoughts on today's news, and follow us on all our social channels for even more gaming insights. Stay tuned for more Tarnished Tales.